Marijuana just got rescheduled. Hemp didn't. I'm Clint Palmer with Hemp Law Group, and this week, the Department of Justice signed the order that a lot of folks in the cannabis industry have been waiting for. If you're a hemp operator, your phone is probably blown up with customers asking if the rules changed. The short answer is no. The longer answer is more interesting, and it's one you need to hear before the confusion spreads any further. Let me walk you through what the order actually does, what it doesn't do, and what hemp operators should be paying attention to over the next few weeks. First, the basics. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order moving two narrow categories of marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. So, number one, the FDA-approved drug products that contain marijuana. And number two, marijuana subject to a state medical marijuana license. That's it. Everything else stays Schedule 1. That includes adult use marijuana under state recreational programs, unlicensed marijuana, bulk marijuana, and also any extracts that do not fit into one of those two defined buckets or hemp. So when you see a headline that says marijuana has been rescheduled, what actually happened is that narrow slice of the marijuana market just got a new federal framework. The rest of it is still a Schedule 1 controlled substance. Now, let's talk about what the order doesn't do. It does not federally legalize marijuana. It does not affect state adult use recreational programs. It does not change how the DEA handles seizures of unlicensed cannabis. And for our audience, this is an important one. It does not affect hemp. The order says that directly. It cites Section 7 U.S.C. 16390 by name, that federal hemp statute. It makes clear that hemp is excluded from the definition of marijuana and therefore outside of the scope of the order. So if you're a hemp operator, here's what that means practically. Your license, still valid. Your products, still governed by the same state and federal rules that governed them last week. The DEA registration pathway that this order creates for state medical marijuana businesses is not something you need to worry about. Hemp is not a controlled substance, and hemp businesses are not DEA registrants. Now, here's where I want to slow down, because this is the part most of the coverage is going to miss. Real talk. I'm personally glad to see marijuana moving out of Schedule 1, even partially. A lot of us have been pushing for some version of this for years. Obviously, full decrim would be the main one. But moving cannabis out of the same category as heroin is meaningful. But I represent hemp businesses, and I've been doing this since Tennessee's program started in 2014. When there's a big federal announcement on cannabis, hemp operators sometimes get caught in the aftermath. Here's why. When the national conversation is loud about marijuana, state regulators who are already aggressive about THCa, about hemp-derived cannabinoids, about gray area products, they're not going to soften up. If anything, they use the federal noise as cover to push harder. They know consumers are confused, they know retailers are confused, and they know in a news cycle like this one, a crackdown on hemp products that consumers think just became legal is going to generate less public pushback than it would in a quieter moment. So here's what I tell hemp operators to do over the next 2 weeks. Number one, train your staff. Customers are going to walk into your shops asking if they can now buy the real stuff. The answer is no. No. Not at all. What you sell is a hemp-derived product governed by a completely different federal framework than state-licensed medical marijuana. Your team needs to be able to say that clearly in 30 seconds without getting into the weeds. Number two, do not assume state enforcement will ease up. If anything, expect increased scrutiny on THCA, labeling, testing, or anything in the hemp space that state regulators have been signaling concern about. We're looking at July 1st in here in Tennessee. If you've been operating on the edge of compliance, this is not the moment to relax. Number three, watch for customer questions that turn into vendor questions. If your distributors or manufacturers start getting confused, you're going to see ripple effects through your supply chain. Product labeling, product claims, marketing, everything that a vendor might tweak because they think the rules changed. They didn't. And you don't want non-compliant product entering your inventory because someone upstream got excited about a headline. Probably won't happen. A few other things worth knowing real quick. The order also kicks off a broader administrative hearing process that begins in late June. That was delayed earlier this year or last year. That hearing will consider rescheduling marijuana more broadly. So what happened this week is probably not the last federal cannabis news we'll see this year. In Section 280E, the tax code provision that prevents Schedule 1 to businesses from deducting ordinary business expenses does not apply to medical marijuana licenses anymore under this order. That's a real piece of tax relief for the cannabis industry. It does not apply to hemp businesses because hemp was never subject to that. All right. Bottom line, if you're a hemp operator, this order is not a problem for you directly. But it's going to generate a week or two of confusion, and confusion where compliance problems show up. Make sure your staff knows the answer. Make sure your products are clean, tested, and compliant with your state's program. And if you're fielding questions you're not sure how to answer, that's exactly what our compliance program is built for. We've published a full written breakdown on our website with the actual DOJ order embedded. The link's in the description. Or if you want to talk through what this means for your specific operation, you can book a 15-minute call with me directly. Link's also in the description. I'll keep you posted as the June hearing process kicks off and as states respond. Thanks for watching.